podcast is by Allison, Judy, and Emily Newton. In this podcast about the Crucible, we are going to examine how hysteria is created in Salem. We're going to look at the characters' actions, dialogue, and what is inferred. We're going to break it down so we can help you understand everything about the witch trials in Salem at the time.
First, I will start with explaining what hysteria is. Hysteria is an overwhelming fear and excitement that overrides all logic and is often enhanced and intensified by the presence of others who are acting out on that fear. Hysteria is created in Salem due to many accusations of witchcraft that occurred throughout the Crucible. Many characters have played a huge role in creating hysteria amongst the townspeople in Salem, including Abigail, Mary Warren, and Tituba.
One example of hysteria in the Crucible would be when Tituba starts naming people who she thinks might be considered witches in Salem. Abigail uses this in her defense as a way of getting out of trouble by naming names. By the end, all the girls have caught on and are all hysterically crying out names. I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
This outburst comes from Abigail at the end of Act 1, after the slave girl Tituba has confessed to witchcraft. She confesses to consorting with the devil, which according to theology of Salem means that she is redeemed and free from guilt. Seeing Abigail's success, the rest of the girls follow in her path, and with this pattern of hysteria, the witch trials get underway.
Another example would be when the girls kept accusing someone of being a witch. Hysteria played a major role. One of the girls would pretend to be cold or see a spirit and would cry out in fear and pain. The other girls seeing this would catch the emotion like a contagious disease. They would imagine they felt or saw the same thing, or at least would react to the fear in the room. Mary Warren herself, in speaking to the judges, explained how it all happened. I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them. And it were only sport in beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
One final example would be when at the end of Act 3, the girls pretend that Mary Warren is a bird trying to attack them. Abigail is again the leader of the pack, and soon it is all very intense. She and all the girls run to one wall, shielding their eyes, and now, as though concerned, they let out a gigantic scream. And Mary, as though infected, opens her mouth and screams with them. This quote or saying is wrote by Miller in the stage directions.
We have to note here how Miller describes Mary Warren's actions as a great example of hysteria. Mary Warren claims that the other girls' actions have infected her in the courts once again, or being powered by hysterics and not logic.
Hysteria plays an overall major part in the play. The Crucible shows several examples of how hysteria is presented. The townspeople of Salem are combating hysteria throughout the Crucible due to the witch trials. Hysteria is created amongst the characters because they keep blaming each other for witchcraft.
Thank you for listening.